Hi everyone, it's Angelica here. I am super excited today to be here with Fernando. He's a shamanic coach, and I've been so excited about this chat with Fernando, so he could teach us and talk a little bit more about what the shamanic means and what his journey and what he's been through and what he and how he can help people and what the whole thing means, which I think it's a beautiful mission, and I'm really excited to hear more about it. Hi, Fernando, how are you?
Hi, good evening. Thank you very much, Angelica, for this wonderful talk here with you.
So why don't you start telling us a little bit about how you got to be a shamanic coach? What was your journey like? Where were you before becoming a shamanic coach?
Okay, I was born 41 years ago in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. I was raised in Salta, next to Chile and Bolivia, in full contact with nature. And in 1999, I went to live to Rosario, where I graduated as electronic engineering and then as a doctor in engineering. That's why I'm PhD, Fernando Coach. And in 2012, I came to Florianopolis, and then I started making questions to myself. What do I really want in life? Am I really happy with what I am doing? And before waiting for those answers, those questions to be answered alone, I searched for the answers. And so I started to look for help of a friend of mine who is a coach. And then I know the shamanism. I discovered the shamanism. Shamanism is the word that is fully connected with nature. It is a very subtle word, but it is very, very powerful. And through that, I discovered that where I am really happy, where I am not happy, and whether if I am working or doing something that is done by the majority of the people, or whether I am doing that because my heart really wants that. And that I felt, there I felt a connection with my own heart. And so I started studying shamanism, practicing shamanism with some local shamans here in Brazil. And then I graduated as a coach. So I am using the tools, the modern tools of coaching with ancient tools that the shamanism provides us. That is very, very powerful. It is so powerful that I graduated in May 2019, just 1 year ago and 4 months, and I've received over 100 clients individually. Some people may ask, "Oh, that's a lot. Why? How do you do that?" Because shamanism allows me to know what other people really need, and I don't have to ask so many questions to those people that are working with me. I can know more or less in advance what he or she really needs, and I can help that person more efficiently, more powerfully, and I can give that person the tools necessary to set free from their fears, to overcome limiting beliefs, and to feel more connected with their hearts and with their own happiness, because all of us want to be very happy. The question I leave for those people who are listening to this talk here is, what things do really make you happy?
Yeah, that's beautiful. So when you talk about you graduated, talk us through like how, what was it like to study the shamanism, like in Brazil, right? Where you are now, like what did you have to do? Where did you have to go? And what experiences, of your own that you had to go through to really kind of, transform yourself?
Okay. There are some shamans traveling all around the world. I've studied with some of those. For instance, a Russian shaman called Abhayoyun. I've also, but most of all, I've studied with a local institution here which is Condor Blanco. It has many schools. One of them is Neo Shamanism, and a long time, many years ago, people were, we can say, graduated as shamans after overcoming a very serious illness by themselves. For instance, they learned how to cure cancer by themselves, and after doing that, they were considered shamans. But they also have to have to be part of a lineage, to be son of someone special. Not anyone could be a shaman some years ago. But now, to this new method, it was introduced by my main mentor, Sir Javan Solar, who is founder of Condor Blanco, along with Sol de Vanita, Sir Javan's daughter. They found a new way to teach anyone how to connect with their own essence and how to awake the shaman inside each one of us. So I received training from them through 4 workshops. The 3 of them were each weekend here in Florianópolis, in the island in the south of Brazil, where I live. And the 4th one was in the south of Chile, in the Patagonia, where there is the main office of Condor Blanco. It has 300 hectares of surface, and it includes a mountain. It is a wonderful place. And there, where I went, I realized what my true fears were. I discovered the source of the fears. Now it was my decision what to do with those fears. I decided immediately to cut those fears away. So I did that through a small ritual with other shamans there. So that's studies I received with those shamans. They're not a study of just a couple of weekends or a couple of weeks. It's a way of life. So way of life includes a healthier life. For instance, waking up early, do a 5-step routine, morning routine at fast, which includes physical exercise, very intense physical exercise. For instance, 10 minutes, it could be okay. It could be dance, it could be yoga, whatever. Then cold shower, a 2-minute cold shower helps us to take our fears away. It is distressing, and it takes each one of us to the present moment, without anxiety for the future and without being thinking about the past. It takes you to the present moment. That is why it is called shower. It also helps your heart pump more blood. So more details about this, it is in the challenge I am making, then I will talk about that. And the 3rd step is writing your goals, because if we don't have a goal, this is my folder where I write my goals. If we don't have a goal in our life, why are we living our life? What is the reason, or which are the reasons for which we are living here? Are we living here just for food, just for having fun, just for something that is just superfluous? It is something more important than that, that gives us a sense of fulfillment, a real fulfillment, helping other people. There are many people here who are starving. I help many people here. I have many people who are in need of help. So I like to help. But the question here is, if you are watching this video now, what are you doing to help others? Are you watching which other people, who other needs help here? So the 3rd step is writing your goals, and the 4th step is visualizing those goals already being performed. Because once you visualize your goals performed, it is easier, much easier to achieve those goals. It is performed even by the athletes in the Olympics, okay? And the 5th step is meditate. Just a 1 or 2 minute meditation, it's okay. But the meditation is crucial in order to connect with your essence, with your heart, and with your spirit, not religion, spirit.
That's beautiful. So what? So those are obviously habits that you have incorporated on your life daily. And but what else, like, you know, for people that are listening out there and thinking that, you know, shamanism is something that it's a little bit like woo woo, and they, you know, a little bit skeptical about it. What else it is the shamanism? You know, like what you mentioned about connecting to nature. You know, what is the whole, you know, healing process of transformation process based on?
Well, that transformation process is very, very deep. Some things could be explained easily with words. Other things can also be explained by living them. It's like explaining, how do you learn to swim? Oh, I move my hands like this. How do you start playing football? Oh, I put the ball like that. So the answer could be the same for how do you study shamanism. Shamanism basically is starting to practice some little teachings that you are given. Just believe a little bit, or allow yourself to do those practices. Once you are you have gained a rhythm of practicing, your understanding becomes starts to open. The eyes of your heart starts to open, and then you don't have to believe. You have to sense. You have to feel. Now that you feel, you don't have to believe in anything else. You just feel.
Yes, that's beautiful. So is it a combination? You know, I've watched, you know, and this could be a completely misconception of what shamanism is, but I watched a program on Netflix, and it was, I think he was an American young guy that had suffered for lots of mental health issues throughout his whole life. And he went to the Amazon forest, and he wanted to search and to help him through that. And he went through and there was a combination of obviously being, you know, connecting to nature because he was in the middle of the forest, but also drinking some herbs, bathing himself in some herbs, and just, I think there was a lot of like sitting by himself as well, you know, like really trying to connect to himself. You know, what is it, you know, like what else is it kind of around that people that again that are skeptical can kind of understand a little bit more about the work that you are doing, maybe if that's what you do, you know, like using, you know, the herbs and bathing yourself, sitting with yourself and things like that.
Well, we are accustomed to do things just to satisfy our physical needs, but shamanism is not physical. It is a very subtle word. We cannot put that into a religious context. We have to put that in the context of connecting people with themselves. Although many people say they don't believe in some things or some religions, in shamanism or whatever, why are they scared? Because they believe in something they don't see. So the key here is, what do you really believe here? Do you believe in fear? Do you believe in things that other people say that are going to make you bad? Or do you prefer believing in how to take care of yourself? Make some little tests and see for yourself if it works. If it works, you can continue. If it doesn't work, at least you found out that. That's it is very, very simple. We don't have to make many questions about that, because people, especially the modern society, is making questions every day. It is okay to make questions, but the clue here is some things cannot be explained by the modern science. And I speak as a scientist. As a scientist, I've been working in scientific research for over 15 years, I've
Yeah.
written papers in journals, in peer-reviewed journals, in international congresses. I've been with the most talented researchers in my field of study. So I've been in the two fields, and I see that many people who are only believing in science, even those people, when those people are in despair, when they are, for instance, when they are almost about to die, they don't believe just in science. They believe in something else. Even
Yeah.
those people who say they don't believe, in deep in their heart, they do believe.
Mm. Yeah. So what would you say for you, like you talk about like recognizing your fears when you're in the mountains and going through some of the process, you know, the transformation process. What was for you like the biggest kind of, you know, aha moment or epiphanies that you know, went through when you were in the mountains?
Yes. Once when I was in the mountain, we did some walk. We did a little walk under special circumstances, and then I found out, after seeing a video of myself walking, making that walk, I said to myself, I can't believe it is me. I thought I was going much faster. Why was I going so slowly? And I saw for myself, it was because fear. Because of fear. What fear? Fear of what? And I started asking myself deeper, where does that fear comes from? And I started questioning myself all that day long. And I had a conversation with a shaman that was there in the mountain. And she told me, okay, now that you are questioning, really questioning yourself and really wanted to take that out of yourself, I can help you that. Yes, I want to take that out of me, but I also want to know why was
Why?
that fear inside of myself. So I was determined to do that. So I did that, and when that shaman told me, oh, here, because she's a hairdresser, she told me, oh, here it is your fear. Okay, cut it out. Then she cut out that fear. She cut out literally a piece of hair, and that fear went away. And after that fear went away, I went to the river and I took all my rage out of the river, to the river, and I said to myself, and I said to the river, why was happening this to me? Why did that happen to me? I don't want that rage again in my life. And I took my rage away from me, and that rage was very, very inside of me. But because of that fear going away, the rage associated with that fear also went away.
Mm-hmm.
Because many people are afraid of doing something, and they are also very angry for not doing that, for not taking that decision. I was one of them, and I took that fear away, and the rage the rage associated with that fear also went away. And after that, I did another ceremony in which I used to get very angry, and I wasn't angry anymore. And I said to myself, it is so wonderful to feel very, very, very fulfilled. And I wasn't trying to control myself. I just felt very, very a sense of peace very deep in me, in myself. And I said to myself, now I am cured of that. And after I did that, I started as an entrepreneur. With one entrepreneurship, with one company, working with my clients, making electronic devices for biofeedback. Then I started working for making online courses, and then I started working as a coach with now over 100 clients individually, thanks to that main aha.
Wow. Amazing. So now if somebody comes to you, if you can give us an example of a client that you've had, recently, or, somebody that comes to mind, tell us a little bit more about how you can help people.
Yes. Well, I help a lot of people who wants to be an entrepreneur or who are already an entrepreneur. Mostly, the majority of them are therapists, since I am working in a team with some colleagues of mine, helping therapists individually and in groups. But I also work by myself on my own with some individual clients that are wanting to really launch their work, or they are really wanting to know how they can leave their job and starting to work as an entrepreneur, and they have to make that to fill the gap. They have to leave the comfort zone. So I help that people to encourage themselves to discover mainly the source, the limiting beliefs, then to leave those limiting beliefs, and some of them are left out through a shamanic ritual in which I cut out those limiting beliefs. And then I started to help that people with a morning routine. I really recommend. There are many people who stopped taking pills for sleep, for instance. Other people started to make real changes in their life. Of all over 10 years of waiting, they don't wait anymore, and they started to feel really empowered. And one of the powerful tools I use is to guide the client to visualize their dream and feel it vividly. When you feel where you have to go or where you want to be, when you feel that, nothing takes that out of you. It is like a trophy, because once you already conquered that, it's like a dream. Once you feel you conquered that, nothing will stop you. You won't say it is impossible. You won't say, I haven't seen that, or I can't do, because you see yourself doing. So that is very empowering. And then a step-by-step process is done in order to move in that direction.
Well, that's really a really important work, because I think there is so many people feeling that they only have one choice, right? And staying, for example, in a job or doing something that they're not happy with. And I know that very well, because I come from a recruitment background, and I spend most of my time talking to people who are not happy with their jobs, and that, as a result, it affected so many people in so many different ways, their health included. And I think it's so important, because when you're stuck in the moment, you need guidance and you need help to get out of that, so you can start living the life that you want, and making the right choices for you, which is so important.
Yes, and there are also very important tools. One of them is called Dragon Dreaming, which was born there in Australia by a guy whose surname I don't remember now, but it was based there in Australia, Dragon Dreaming, which is a methodology for producing projects that are aiming to help the economy of the people who are making that project. Also, it aids to help the economy of the society which surrounds the people who are making the project, and also helps the planet. It helps the planet. There's a day in which it is a special day, which has a special date in every country. That day is equivalent to the Earth, when the humankind has consumed the resources that the Earth can provide. So, as each one of us know very well, the Earth can provide a limited source of certain amount of resources that humankind is already using. Now we are in an unsustainable way, in which we are consuming more than the Earth can what the Earth can provide. So there's a date in which is different in each nation. For instance, in United States, that date is the 24th of March. That's why if all the world lives like the US, we will need 5 Earth planets to live. That same day, that date in Colombia is instead the 13th of October. So they are more sustainable. And the urge here is to make projects. And I urge you that are watching this video, if you are watching this video, I urge you to question yourself, what are you doing to make this planet a better place to live?
Yeah.
Are you really breathing fresh air? Do you think by driving a car and committing to the work, to your work, will make it a sustainable place to live? Are you producing your own food? Where is your food produced? And most of all, have you seen the photos of Beijing where people can now see the sun rising? I'm not talking about beliefs, I'm talking about facts.
I know. Yeah, it is definitely. And that's all linked to what you're talking about, isn't it? Going back to nature and utilizing, but nature has so much to give as well. And we can't just keep taking and taking and taking.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to see, there is something very crucial, something that is illustrated what I am saying. According to the World Economic Forum, you have to visit the World Economic Forum. It states that some species which were considered already extinct, they are not extinct happily. So they are now starting to flourish. I don't know if you've already seen the dolphins going swimming in bays.
Yeah, and here as well, like a place that we go paddle boarding, which normally, is a little river inlet, and there is always lots of people. A friend of mine went paddleboarding and she just saw dolphins just right there, like it's happening everywhere. But when you talk about, there is a day where what the earth is giving to us is, and what we are taking is, obviously completely out of balance. I think that's really important because to say, because that's happening to us, we are completely out of balance as well, within us. And it takes a lot of practice and a lot of, like you're saying, like doing those 5 different rituals in the morning, all of the things that you were doing, and that I we're talking before, I do them as well. It's just getting us back into balance within ourselves so we can be better people, to contribute to the world as well. And I think it's really important to mention that, it's all about, the things that we're doing each day. It's not only doing once, but the things that we need to do each day to contribute to ourselves and to the better of everybody else as well.
The trend here in Brazil is to make houses more sustainable. We are moving backwards to our essence, to be in balance with nature. We can't ignore nature. We produce our food in nature. So we have to respect our nature. We have to respect the food that is produced. And most of all, we have to produce, or at least to consume the foods that are locally produced.
Yes.
Because otherwise, our world will be unsustainable. Now, the world population has decreased now. But until a couple of days ago, it was increasing and the world was becoming unsustainable. It is still not 100% sustainable, but we have to change our way of life, because by eating meat, cow meat, for instance, each cow is equivalent to a volume of water of an airplane, a commercial airplane.
Yeah. Definitely a conversation that we can talk about forever. But I want to talk about your challenge that is starting tomorrow. which is a 3 days challenge, and it's called Awakening Your Life Purpose. And I think that is a beautiful mission. And I will add the link to your challenge below, and so people can hopefully take part of. And it's very much, it sounds like in line with what you were mentioning before, people that are feeling a little stuck and and want to do something else other than whatever they are doing, and they want to take that leap right into finding their life purpose and moving towards maybe an entrepreneurship, to doing what they want to do, right?
Yes. Now, for those people who are watching this video, each one of you is invited to this free challenge, which will be free only this week. It is starting today, Tuesday, and there are some videos already available for you in the Facebook group, which is Awakening Your Life Purpose. You can type Facebook.com/awake purpose. So in that group, I will challenge you to work with your limiting beliefs and to create your new self, and to visualize, then to discover what you really love doing in your spare time, in your free time, and finally connect with your dream, with your purpose, and make some simple decisions in order to move forward that direction. So this is a 3-day challenge. It will be intensive, it will be short, it will be very, very powerful, and I'm very glad to do this with all of the people that are already taking part.
That's awesome. And if people want to contact you for the shamanic coaching that you're doing, I'll also add your details so that people can contact you via Facebook.
Yes. My Facebook is /PhD Fernando Coach, and my Instagram is at PhD Fernando Coach.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Fernando, for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your story with mission. It has been really a pleasure to have you here with us.
Oh, thank you, Angelica. I appreciate very much the time spent here with you, which each one of the people who are watching this video offline. And I give you a very big hug from my heart to all of you.
Okay.